Hi everyone, and welcome to today's episode. Today I'm going to do a FAQ, and these are questions that I get all the time, either from private messages on Facebook or Instagram. Also, when I'm running into people in public, I get lots of questions if they know me personally or they just want to ask a quick question. So I figured I'd do a video that would help answer all those questions. The question that I get asked the most is, when did I start baking? And I was 4 years old whenever I started baking, and I still have my Easy Bake Oven, and Santa brought it to me when I was 4, and so I have held on to it ever since. I keep it as a simple reminder as to how I got started so long ago. My mom was kind of the town baker, and so I grew up watching her bake cakes for our community. I was watching her and I just kind of wanted to do that myself. The next question is, where are you from? And I am from a little town in Louisiana called Pecan Island, and it is about 6 miles from the Gulf of Mexico, so it's in the swamp, and I go back a few times every year to visit my family. I love it there. It's beautiful, very peaceful. I love going back there. There's just something about it. I was 9 years old whenever I moved around Nashville, so I've been here longer in Tennessee than I was in Louisiana. Another question I get asked is, where do I get all my recipes? And the recipes that I use come from my grandmother's or past generations. They're old family recipes. And so it's kind of fun to see how things changed as cake mixes began to become more popular. Some of these recipes that I will share with you guys, you'll see that the products that they're using, they've been around for a long time, and most of them are really simple. A lot of the recipes that I use call for figs or pecans, because that was something that, being from Pecan Island, those are things that we had fresh on their property that they grew, and so that was something that they had and they used in their recipes. My favorite cookbooks, and I've got them here. Church cookbooks are my favorite. This is an old Cajun cookbook, and it was written out, looks like with a typewriter is what it looks like. This was from 1983. There's all kinds of stuff, from appetizers all the way to desserts, old Cajun recipes. I love it. It's very cool to see what the Cajun ladies would make. So that's kind of cool, and I have multiple copies of different church cookbooks from around the area. My husband got me this for Christmas, and I've been baking out of it. And I really enjoy this book. Is Paul Hollywood. I'm not sure if any of you have seen the Great British Baking Show, but he is a judge on there. And he goes through and he's got all kinds of homemade breads, and some of them, they've got pictures with every recipe and pictures of the instructions, which I really enjoy. I'm a visual learner, and so this is really good for me. I enjoy looking at pictures. Like if I go to a restaurant, I'm more likely to order a dish that has a picture with it because I know what the finished product's supposed to look like. That really does help me. And this is another favorite of mine, Deceptively Delicious, and it's made by Jessica Seinfeld. This is kind of a healthy option to baking and making all kinds of dishes. And what it is they've got all kinds of dishes using vegetables, fruits and vegetable purees. And they've got sweet treats in here, and then they've got appetizers all the way to desserts. So it's just kind of fun if you're trying to watch what you're eating. So this is a really good, yummy cookbook. Another question I get is, what is my favorite kind of cake? And red velvet with cream cheese icing is my all-time #1 favorite. Can you really go wrong with cream cheese? So, kind of a fun question. What is the longest distance you've ever traveled with a cake? It's about 750 miles, which was from where I live in Tennessee all the way to Louisiana. And it was for my nephew's first birthday. And I brought 3 different size cakes for the guest. And then I brought his little smash cake. And I was so nervous about transporting it that whole way without it cracking or anything like that. And we traveled in a van, so we have the stow and go seating, or the floor, like where the seats can go in the floor and it makes it flat. I put the cakes under there as the seats were up, and I said, I'm just gonna go with it, and if it's cracked, If it slid, if it fell apart, I'll just fix it whenever we get there. I'm not opening it until we get there. We get there, it's all in one piece. Nothing slid, nothing moved. Oh my goodness, I was so happy, no idea. It was really stressful, but I'm really glad that I got to do that. And over the summer, I'm actually making one of our best friends, making their wedding cake and groom's cake. So I'm gonna travel another 450 miles to Mississippi to do that for our sweet friends. So can't wait for that one. Another question I get quite often is, do you have a bakery or a storefront? And the answer is no. A couple years ago, I opened my own bakery, if you will, and I operated it out of my home, and I actually stopped taking cake orders just a few months ago so that I could devote more time to doing my YouTube channel. I really do enjoy doing cakes, but I feel like this is where my heart belongs now. It's helping you folks make sweet treats and have fun and hopefully learn something new every time you watch my videos, so that's my hope. The next question I get is, do you prefer using a boxed cake mix or scratch baking? And the answer is both. If I am doing a cake that needs to be decorated really pretty, I always like to use a box mix because the cake tends to be a little bit lighter and it's a lot easier to decorate. If I'm doing a cake for a party or a holiday, I like to do scratch baking on breads and cakes because they don't necessarily have to be so pretty. Like if you're doing a coconut cake and you're just doing like a cream cheese with some toasted coconut on the outside, you know what to expect out of those. They don't have to be very pretty, they don't have to be decorated. I like to do that with scratch baking because it looks more rustic, but that cake is so heavy from all those ingredients and it just makes a lot heavier cake. So if you're trying to make this cake look really nicely decorated, sometimes that tends to be an issue. I get a lot of questions, mostly in public whenever I'm out. The question is, where do you get your outfits? And there's a really cute little store in Louisiana and it's called Parish Inc. And they're a small business that it does screen printing. And because I'm from Louisiana, I really like to support local businesses that do fun, really quirky looking Louisiana apparel. And I really like them. And like the outfit that I'm wearing today came from Altered State. And I just found out about it recently. Love it. Apparently they started in Knoxville, Tennessee, and I had no idea. And I had to go all the way to Louisiana to find out about it. What is the hardest part for me about creating YouTube content? And the answer is talking to myself. Whenever I have to record a video and I'm speaking to myself to a camera, I feel kind of silly. I'm just talking to myself in an open room. It's gotten a lot easier for me just to speak to a camera because I know that somewhere out there, there's somebody watching and maybe I'm helping them. And so as goofy as I feel, I just have to push through it and just think that maybe I'm helping someone. So the last question that I have today is kind of a main question I get a lot, but I felt that it was the most important, and so I wanted to do it last, and this will wrap up the video. Why did you start doing a YouTube channel? And the answer is, whenever I started really getting into cake decorating back in 2011, I wanted to know the basics, and I tried to watch YouTube videos and I took local classes and I learned a lot. But whenever I was trying to learn how to do these things, there wasn't a lot of good content online that showed how to do the things that I needed to do. So I feel like if I can create great content for people that are in the same boat that I was in, not knowing how to do the basics or how to fill a piping bag, there's nothing that showed me how to do that. I think that people get on there and they just automatically assume that people know how to do the basics. So I know that right now, most of my videos have been just the basics, but now that all the basics are covered, we're gonna get into some fun stuff. Guys, I hope that you've enjoyed today's episode. If you did, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and I hope to see you soon for more SugarVol cake videos.